Hi, I'm Cathy Fang. On behalf of my colleagues at the MIT Media Lab, I'm presenting Project Cardiac Arrest. Social deception games are a common pastime activity. During the COVID-19 pandemic, many turned to online environments to play games remotely. This led us to wonder how online game interactions could be enhanced by wearables, such as allowing players to display their biosignals. Sharing biosignals has been explored as a way of connecting people, where users express the playfulness and intimacy of this form of communication. Closer to our work are those that look at how players interpret and utilize biosignals in co-located social play. Some also investigated physiological synchrony in multiplayer games, which is the phenomenon where the physiological activity between two or more people becomes associated or interdependent. In our work, we are interested in first, how the information of biosignals affect players' behavior and gameplay strategy in a social deception game, and particularly in an online setting where players have restricted social cues. Second, do players on the same team experience unconscious physiological synchrony in both in-person and online settings? We chose a 6-player version of the game Mafia. Players are either a mafia or a civilian, including special roles, doctor and police, and try to eliminate the other team. During the study, participants wore a wristband that collects biosignals and played 2 games, where all players' heart rate was either hidden or shown on a screen. We recruited 2 groups for both the in-person and online conditions, where for the latter, players joined via Zoom. Participants reported slightly higher empathy and feeling more relaxed in games when heart rate was visible, and there were slightly more negative feelings and more behavioral engagement in the online conditions. Seeing the signals did affect gameplay. For example, players used an increase in heart rate as a supporting argument for identifying the Mafia, especially during the beginning of the game where few cues are provided. We computed each player's heart rate variation across the game. In the online condition, the overall change in heart rate for the group was higher when the signal was visible, whereas the effect of heart rate visibility was a little less salient for the in-person condition. On a time series graph, we found overall group synchronization. For example, when a player was eliminated, their heart rate decreased and stayed flattened throughout the rest of the game, while in other moments, some players' heart rate significantly increased, indicating an increase in arousal. We also found a high correlation not just between the 2 Mafia, but also between the Mafia and the doctor or the police. To summarize, we investigated the effect of biosignals on players' gameplay strategy and physiological dynamics in the game Mafia. We found that seeing biosignals influence gameplay across conditions, but more for the online players, possibly as a substitute for the in-person cues of nervousness. Players used heart rate data to make critical gameplay decisions, such as voting a player out of the game and casting suspicions on others. We saw moments of gameplay in which players' heart rate synchronized in positive or negative trends, such as when a new round starts or the player is eliminated. Please see our paper for more details. Thank you.